Hello, everybody. That's another recording for week 3 tutorial for both units, the 12206 or the 20261. Last video, we have covered week 2 and week 1 and week 2, and we have done the simple topology of setting an IP. So now you learn how to set an IP on a device or a PC. Today, what we will do, we will use the same topology, the same one. So that's the one which is we will use that one. So what we will do today, we have an application, a software called Netcat. That Netcat allow devices to talk to each other or send a message from one device to another. You can type something in one device. One of the devices act as a server and other one act as a client. Which one you decided, it's up to you what you decided. We will use the same topology. I will turn everything on as it was in the last video. And as I have promised you last week, and I create you as well some sort of model answering screenshots. So if I gone very quick or very fast, whatever it is, so feel free to stop me. And as well, feel free to have a look at those screenshots. Maybe the screenshot will help you more. So what we will do, we will use one of those PCs. So to do, that's 10, that's 20, that's 30, that's 40, whatever you pick. So pick any one you want. And then what we will do, we will use one of them as a client and one of them as a server. So here, for example, I have choose this one, host number 3 to become the client and host number 1 as the server, or the other way around, whatever it is, it's okay for us. So I'm going to use this one, host 1 as the server, just only, and this one as the client. Just to remind you, nothing else. So what we will do, we will start with the client one. So let's check first if we have an IP. Yes, the IP is 10.10, everything cool, everything is nice. So let me ping 192.168.10.30, the device number 3. Yes, they can talk to each other. Done. That's the first thing you need to do to make sure that you are in the safe side. So device number client, they can talk to the server can talk to the client. Now, what we will do, we will go over the host number 1 and we will start asking this one, can you listen over port number 22222? By the way, you can create any non-allocated port number, which we call that the unknown. So in the tutorial, because we have some specific port being allocated inside the university, we told you that do not use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you can, if you are home or you are on your laptop, whatever, you can use that. However, for the sake of the demo, I'm going to use that 222222. That's it, nothing else. So over here, and I'm going to type any message, for example, hello. My name is whatever your name is, and my student ID is 1, 2, 3, whatever your student ID is. So you send a message or that's, can you send a message here? No, that's the server. So we need the client. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to host number 3. So you ask me to work on the server only. So I'm gonna do, can you use the NC 192.168.10.10? Okay, so can you use the netcat on that server, which is the server? And for the port number, this one, yes. Can you see what's, as soon as I hit enter, the data from the server shows up here? Okay, so what about if I want to type something? Okay, hello back. My name is Tom. Can we talk? That's here in host number 3. That's now in host number 1. Yes, sure, we can too. That's in host number 1, which is the server. If you click over here, you can see that in host. So what is that? They send the message across. So you can, a client and a server, they can talk to each other. We're using what we call that a netcat server. What about if I want to capture that talk? Can we capture that talk? Yes. So we have a software called the PCAP file, which is the Wireshark. We can do that. But to get that from the host to the VM or from the VM to the host, you need to use a software called FileZilla. So what we will do, we will go over one of that. We ask you over here, let's say, go to that or here, whatever you like, between both of them. So for me, I'm gonna come over here and I'll start the capture, change this one to Ethernet, give this one any name you like, whatever the name we ask you to do. So for example, this is week 3 lab capture, and make sure that the extension is PCAP. Why is PCAP? Because we want to open it with Wireshark. That's it. Give it any name you like, whatever the name we ask you. Then we ask you over here to put, just make sure that that's PCAP. Here it is. And you can see that there is a magnifier over here came over to tell you that, yes, now that whatever you type between both of them, it will be captured. So for example, this is my first capture. Okay. Did you done? Done. So we send the message across between here to here, and the capture is still on. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop that. And I will stop that as well. We are here in host number 3. I'm going to ping 192.10.10 to see if I'm going to get the capture or not. Here it is. And let me go over here. And can you ping 192.168.10.30? Here it is. So what we have done, I put the message, the capture, I ping between both devices. You can go again for the NC if you want to. And then now what we will do, we will try to get that file Zilla. So if you want to run again the capture, feel free. Here it is. And if you want to run the NC as well again, and something like that. And you can see that it's gone to the server. That's it. That's it. So easy as that, easy as that. So now what we will do, terminate that connection, and I will go stop the capture. We have a software we ask you to download. It's free software. If you are in the campus, it's already installed on our computer. If it's not, just like me, like here, just feel free to download that software. That's 192.168.56.116. What is that IP, by the way? That's my IP. That's the general IP of my VM. That's 192.168.56.116. Your IP may be different. See whatever it is, the IP here. The username GNS3, the password GNS3, and put here port number 22. Click OK, it gives you that message. Here it is. How to find the file inside. You may have multi-project, by the way. You will have actually multi-project by the end of the unit. How to get to your files? Just click over here. Here again, search for a file called OPT. Inside the OPT, you will find something called GNS. Inside GNS, you will find something called project. Inside the project, that's the one. Unfortunately, there is no names here, so you need to find out what's the name of your file. So your project. So that's the LAN. That's not the one I have created. That's the reverse. No, that's the setting IP. That's the one. So expand that. Inside the project here, you will find something called capture. If you have done capture, you will find a folder called capture. So click on that. That's the file which I have created. This one you can just drag and drop. So I'm going to drag this one like that. And I'm going to put it in my download. Here it is. Let's go to my download. And that's the file. Double click over here. And here you can see that that's the communication between the server and the client. So from here, you can see that we started from 10:30 because I was in 10:30. If you want to filter, you can filter with ICMP only. You can see that the send and request between those two devices. And as you can see that, so that's between 30 to 10, 10 to 30. They keep sending the request between each other. If you want that, if you want TCP only, just type TCP. Over here, you can find that. And here, click on that. You may find, here it is. And that's the client, and that's the server between sending data. And as you can see that maybe that's, we will explain that to you in one of the tutorial or the lectures. The sequence acknowledgement, when two devices, they talk to each other, you will find something called sequence acknowledgement. I believe you have studied that already into the prerequisite unit. However, one more time will not hurt. So that's the capture between the two devices, as you can see that. And here it is. I'll put you over here between those two, the sending and requesting. As you can see that that's the TCP that's sent from 30 to 2 like this. I'm trying to take you to the clear. And this is the finishing after they finish, whatever the connection between both of them. This is the request for the ARP between the switches. And here it is. Anything with ICMP that's pinging, anything with the TCP, that's the connections, or that's the discussion between the two devices. As you can see here, you can see the communication between the devices. That's the proxy, the cookies, and here it is, like this. So sequence acknowledgement, keep going like that. And that's mostly what we ask you for this tutorial. We don't want that much. You can see that the accounting, the R, whatever. I don't want you to, the media itself, forget about the media for now, but just only we want to make sure that you do in this tutorial, we want sure that you can create connection between client to server, server to client. You can ping between both of them, exchange the data, whatever it is, and you can capture the data between both of them. That's it. That's it for now. That's all what we ask you. As you can see here, we have got you the data here. You can see that that's the basic capture between 10 to 30 or 30 to 10. As far as you get this one correctly, like this one, that means your correct is your here your actually is accurate. As far as like you can come up with the sequence one, can you see that the sequence one? Which means that we will start to having the data from here. You can sequence one, acknowledgement 27. They start from here to have those data. And they tell you that the acknowledgement in frame number, whatever it is. That's it. That's it. That's mostly what we actually ask you to have for now. And if you have any issue, feel free to email me. I'll be more than happy to give you extra details. That's it. That's it for week number 4. I'll see you next video.